Okay, factoring completely. This is going to be a very quick review. When there are four terms, one of the first things you want to think of, is it possibly going to be the grouping method? First thing you want to look at, do they all have a variable? Since these all do not, since 20 does not have a variable attached, you can go ahead and just put parentheses around it. And then notice, this is kind of a big warning, we just put parentheses in front of that subtract sign. That did say negative 20, but now because there's parentheses, what's a negative times a negative? A positive. We don't want it to be positive 20. So what you're going to need to do is automatically, only when there's a subtract sign and after the subtract sign you put parentheses, you're going to flip, and think about that. That should make sense. The negative sign, once we put that in parentheses, will cause this sign to do the opposite. And then notice when we do the when we do the grouping method, those two signs should match each other. All right, now you just ask, what do these two things share? 8v cubed, 32v squared. Well, they each share a v squared, so a v squared is going to come out. That cancels that. 3 divided by 2, that'll just leave a v. 8 and 32 have an 8 in common, which cancels the 8. 32 divided by 8 is a 4. And then everything that we did not cancel, so we didn't cancel a v, we didn't cancel a plus sign, we didn't cancel a 4, that is left on the inside. All right, now we come over here. What do 5v and 20 have in common? Well, just a 5. A 5 gets pulled out. Notice that gets canceled. 20 divided by 5 leaves a 4, and v plus 4 again. So notice, well, first of all, they both share a v plus 4, so let's factor that out. Now I can cross that, and everything that is left will go in the second set of parentheses. And that is how you use the grouping method to quickly solve. And if we look over here, I'm going to cover all of this stuff up. Well, maybe I'm going to. I really am. Okay, when we look at this over here, this also doesn't have a 20, so again, parentheses, there's a subtract sign, so you're going to have to flip that sign right there. So we have 210r cubed minus 84r squared, subtract 60r, because we're putting the parentheses, we're going to flip that sign. Because we want this to say positive, a negative times a negative is a positive. Now you have the terrible task of figuring out what goes into 210 and 84. We know they share an r squared. Some of you are going to be faster than this and me. And over here, 60 and 24, I'm going to guess 12 right there, which would leave 5r minus 2. So 210 divided by 5 would be 42. They both have a 42 in common. So, which leaves 5r minus 2. So notice, I didn't want to tackle the 210 and 84, so I figured out what was going to be in here. And as soon as I knew that a 5 was going to 5r subtract 2, then 84 divided by 2 is what? 42. 210 divided by 5 is what? 42. So that's just a trick. So 5r subtract 2 is what they both share. And everything left, 42r squared subtract 12. All right, that's factored completely using the grouping method.